Imagine holding onto a secret for more than 20 years, a secret that started with a terrible betrayal, tore a family apart, and absolutely broke a father's heart. Now, picture this. You're finally face to face with the very people who wronged you, and you hold all the cards. Well, let's dive into this incredible story of a long-awaited and completely unexpected moment of truth. It's a question that really gets to the heart of what it means to be human. When you're confronted with the source of your deepest pain, what do? Do you go for revenge? Do you demand justice? Or is there another way? We're about to see one of the most powerful answers to that very question ever recorded. So let's set the scene. For years now, Joseph has been this powerful governor of Egypt, second only to Pharaoh. And his brothers, yep, the same guys who sold him into slavery when he was just a kid, are now standing right in front of him, begging for food, and they have no clue who he is. He's tested them, he's seen that they're sorry, and now, well, the emotional pressure is just becoming too much to handle. Joseph just completely loses his composure and gives this stunning command: get everyone out of here. He clears the room of all his Egyptian staff, his guards, everybody. See, this isn't a performance for the court. This is about to be a raw, private, family reckoning. He's setting the stage for a revelation that can only happen when they are totally, completely alone. You've got to put yourself in the brothers' shoes for a second. They are terrified. This powerful Egyptian ruler, who literally holds their lives in his hands, has just kicked out his entire staff and is now weeping so loudly that the whole palace can hear it. They have absolutely no idea what's going on or what on earth they could have done to cause this. And then it happens. The first thunderbolt. Just a couple of phrases that completely shatter their reality. I am Joseph, the brother they'd basically left for dead. And his very next question isn't an accusation. It's a question filled with 22 years of longing. Is my father still alive? The shock is so intense, the text says they were so stunned they couldn't even answer him. Just complete, shell-shocked silence. He can see how terrified they are, so he softens his voice. Come closer, he says. And then he drops the final, undeniable proof. He doesn't just say, I'm Joseph. He says, I am Joseph, your brother, the one you sold into Egypt. He names the crime. He forces them to look the ugly truth of what they did right in the eye. There was no more room for doubt. The past has just crashed headlong into the present. Now, this is the moment, right? This is the moment for revenge, the moment he could condemn them all. But what Joseph does next is what makes this story so absolutely extraordinary. Instead of payback, he completely reframes their act of pure evil as an act of divine providence. This is just staggering. His very first move is to lift their guilt. Don't beat yourselves up, he says. Don't be angry with yourselves. And then he gives them a completely new way of seeing what they did. He tells them their betrayal was actually part of a much bigger divine plan, a plan to save their entire family. And listen, this wasn't some lofty, abstract idea. This was a matter of life and death, right now. Joseph reminds them that, yeah, 2 years of this terrible famine have passed, but there are still 5 more years to go. 5 years with no planting, no harvest. His being in Egypt, in this exact position of power, is their one and only hope for survival. So you see the logic he's laying out for them, right? It's basically a 3-step process. First, he lets them off the hook, releasing them from the weight of their own guilt. Second, he shifts the focus from their malicious act to God's grander plan. And third, he spells out the ultimate purpose of it all, saving their lives. It's just a brilliant way of building a bridge for them to cross back into a relationship with him. And this is the line that seals the deal. He's essentially telling them, look, your intentions were evil, no doubt, but you are just tools in a much larger plan for good. By taking their choices out of the driver's seat and putting God's will there instead, he creates the very foundation that forgiveness and real reconciliation can be built on. So, with all that emotional and spiritual air cleared, Joseph immediately pivots from explaining the past to planning for the future. He has a detailed plan, not just to forgive his family, but to save them. And notice how specific this plan is. It's not some vague offer. He gives them the exact message to take to their father, Jacob. He tells them exactly where they'll live, in the best part of the land, Goshen, right near him. And he makes a solemn promise. I will take care of you. He's offering them total salvation, backed by all the resources of a global superpower. And get this wasn't just Joseph doing his own thing. When Pharaoh finds out Joseph's brothers are here, he's actually happy about it. He doesn't just okay the plan, he makes it even better. He tells them, don't even worry about packing your stuff, because the best of all the land of Egypt is yours. This is a royal decree. It's a sign of just how much Pharaoh values Joseph, and it's an ironclad guarantee for his family's future. Words of forgiveness are powerful, no question. But it's the physical acts of reconciliation that truly start the healing. What happens next goes beyond words and into just pure, raw, cathartic emotion. First, he embraces Benjamin, his only full brother, the one who was innocent of the crime. And then, in this unbelievable act of grace, he goes to every single one of the other men who sold him away, and he kisses each of them. The text says it was only after this physical act of forgiveness that his brothers were finally able to talk to him. That embrace, it broke the silence. As he's sending them on their way, he gives them all gifts. But notice this little detail. While every brother gets a new set of clothes, his beloved brother Benjamin gets 5 sets of clothes and 300 pieces of silver. It's a small thing, but it's so human. Forgiveness is total, but those special bonds of love, well, they're still there. And his final piece of advice to them is just so incredibly wise. He knows that on that long trip home, the finger pointing could start, the what ifs, the this was your fault. So he warns them against it. He tells them, focus on the good news you're bringing home, not the old guilt you're leaving behind. And now, the story shifts to its final destination, back to Canaan, and to an old man who has been drowning in grief for over 20 years. Can you even imagine this scene? The sons come back, not just with sacks of grain, but with this impossible story. They stand in front of their elderly father Jacob, and they deliver the news he had given up all hope of ever hearing. But his first reaction isn't joy, it's shock. His heart fainted. The news is so impossibly good, his mind just can't accept it. His grief for Joseph was so deep, so permanent, that his brain literally rejects this new reality. I mean, remember, these are the same sons who brought him that bloody coat all those years ago. This is the turning point. It's the physical proof. He sees the wagons, not just any old carts, but Egyptian royal wagons, loaded with the best of Egypt, sent by Pharaoh himself. Seeing them with his own eyes makes the unbelievable believable. The tangible evidence brings his spirit back to life. And his response is just perfect. He doesn't need all the details. It is enough. The simple fact that his son is alive is all that matters. And in that one moment, this old man finds a new purpose for his life. One last journey, to see the son he was sure he had lost forever. So in the end, this whole account leaves us with a really powerful question to think about. Joseph made a choice to see a divine purpose inside his deepest pain. He didn't just forgive. He actually reframed the entire story. And by doing that, he transformed an act of family betrayal into an act of family preservation. It's a reminder that sometimes the most radical response to hate is a plan to save.